Welcome to the podcast for the recently released. I'm your host, Louis Stardust.
And I'm Joe Matissa, your co-host.
I don't even know if I'm supposed to be looking at that camera.
You can look at whatever camera you want.
Oh yeah, we got some fancy new gadgets.
Yeah, we're trying to do a little bit of experimenting with the new studio options and stuff like that because we're planning some big expansions. We're currently in the process of moving. As you'll notice, our set is kind of barren right now. So We're really kind of switching some things over, big things on the rise. Definitely keep an eye out.
I got steak out of my tooth.
Steak out of your tooth?
Yeah.
Where is it at?
Oh, in my tooth.
Show the show the camera.
I'll put it in your ashtray. Okay. So as Joe was saying, yes, we are moving. We are leaving the state of New Jersey, and that's why we haven't been as active really on social media and everything else because we had to pack up our house real fast.
Yeah.
And get everything going, but we are going to be getting a really cool new workspace, which I'm excited about to create more content, and we're going to have a designated podcast room, which is going to be really cool, and it's going to be really awesome to have a actual space dedicated to that and not like this makeshift corner that we have in our house.
Yeah.
It's going to allow us to do way more with our episodes and just content creation overall. So it's going to take a month or two. Maybe we'll do a on-the-fly like live episode or something like while things are going. Maybe we'll pop onto my Twitch or on YouTube do a live episode or something just to say hello, but it might be a couple weeks before you hear another full episode from us.
Yeah.
But just keep an eye on our social media and we'll try to keep updates. So
Yeah, absolutely.
that's my little PSA.
You want me to get into what we're doing today?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so today we're going to be getting into a few things. We're going to talk about our final review of Season 2 of Black Spot on Netflix. We're going to get into a show we started watching on Netflix called Reality Z. We're going to get into the expansion pack for Pokemon Sword and Shield, the Island of Armor, or Isle of Armor you could call it. We're going to talk about The Last of Us Part 2. We just started playing that. And we are going to talk about the latest episode of StarGirl.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Jam-packed.
I don't know where exactly you want to jump in first.
Let's start it off with Black Spot since
you want to start it off with Black Spot? Now, we've already talked about Black Spot a couple times before.
No, we did last week's episode.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we talked quite a bit about it, so you can look into that. It's a really great show on Netflix. It's a French show. It's dubbed over in English. We've been really into it. Let me tell you, after finishing Season 2, I love this show.
Love it. Love it.
Overall,
perfect 10. Boom.
A perfect 10, you would say?
I think it's a fantastic show. If you're into anything that's mythological kind of stuff, if you're into like Twin Peaks or any kind of detective show, I think it hits all the right marks.
You think so, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think so. I would think it's a good mix of crime, paranormal, kind of ghosty stuff, the whole deal.
I would say Season 1, 10, Season 2, maybe like a 9.5.
Yeah, I would say this season really goes and gets even more intense. Like, when we first started talking about in Season 1, if you go through our episode recaps from the past 2 episodes or so, we really talk about how it's like kind of crime stuff, it's eerie, there's some hints of paranormal stuff with this forest and everything, and it's a really small squad of cops in a town in France, a mountain town that's like a factory mining type of town that's got a lot of corruption and 6 times the normal murder rate. Sorry, I'm all over the place talking today. But it's really crazy, and this season really breaks into the beast, the whole mythology of the Celtic beast in the woods, and how that affects the town, and how all of these crimes and all of it is somehow affiliated with this mythology. And it's really, really neat. You get to have a good, deep explanation of what the attachment is to the main character and this beast, which is really cool. You didn't think they were going to go too far into that, or that there would be that deep of a connection with the character and the main kind of suspenseful entity of the show besides the murders themselves. Definitely cool. I would give that season, the whole show in general, I would give a solid like 9 out of 10. I really, really enjoyed it. And it opens up for a 3rd season. I mean, this is a really great show to watch if you're into crime stuff. It's a really good show to watch if you're into paranormal stuff. It's really fun all around. What do you think overall? What's your final thoughts on it? The review?
I think it's such a creative show. I think it really embraces things that I like. Like, it hits every mark for me as far as characters and storylines and everything. I just love it. I love Baloo. The teddy bear character.
The teddy bear guy.
He's probably my favorite. I love the Ron Swanson cop, and I love that they kind of give you a little bit of each of their backstories. Like they had a kind of bit where you think he might be kind of crooked, or maybe he has some kind of thing going on. The mustache dude, and then he has his own storyline.
The mustache.
Baloo has he's gay, right? So they talk about that a little bit, and then they have some complicated relationships with him and our main character. So I like that. There is a lot going on in this show. Like, obviously, there's an underlying theme throughout the entire series of what's going on between the Forest and them. But each episode, like we said previously, is a murder mystery or like a crime sort of thing. But they still go into their personal lives, and it doesn't ever feel like it's too much to focus on.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
It all makes sense, too, with the story itself. When you go into these backstories of some of the characters that you think, with all these murders that's happening, with all this, do we have time for that? But you do. The connection's good. It's not super in-depth where they hang on one character forever. They make sure to give everybody their time on screen. So it's really good, and the fact that they only have a few main characters and associating characters really helps strengthen them a lot. I think they didn't go and be too vague with certain characters, and they didn't go too deep into certain characters. It was just right all throughout. I thought the characters were great.
Yeah.
I don't really have anybody I didn't like on the show either. All the characters, even the ones that are supposed to be the bad guys, were still really good characters overall. It was really fun to watch.
I had a lot of things that I liked. I recommend this to anyone who likes any of the subjects we mentioned earlier. I think Netflix, obviously, we've said time and time again, does a really good job with their foreign documentary style shows, or just foreign shows in general. No way I said documentary, but I think they do a good job with that, and yeah, that's one I would definitely recommend.
Yeah, absolutely.
Before we go on to our next thing, I want to say a couple things.
Oh, back to you.
One, this is a question for viewers, because I ask you guys stuff, and I would love if you go to our Instagram pod for the recently released and let us know. Do you guys like when we do episodes like this where there's like 6 different subjects, or do you guys want some episodes like fully dedicated to a show or series or one particular topic? Because I like that we are versatile in that way, but I want to know what you guys want to see.
Yeah, I mean, we could definitely, if you preferred it, go in depth on just one specific show, maybe 2 things at a time. I mean, since we had a couple weeks off with this whole move and everything, we're trying to squeeze a couple things in there and touch base. I know there's not a lot of material going on right now, but some new things are coming out, and we're trying to really absorb what we can to talk about when we do get the chance to record. But if if you guys would prefer it, we could slim it down too, but we definitely want to know what you think. Let us know.
Yeah.
Because I don't mind going in on some of these shows, because I feel like we could talk about a show like Black Spot forever.
And get into like each episode at least a little bit,
Oh, absolutely.
But going on, what was the next show?
The next show we could go into, actually, let's go to a video game, shall we?
Okay.
Let's talk about the show, or the video game. Let's talk about the expansion pack for Pokemon. Isle of Armor just came out.
Pretty cool.
Boom, throw that bad boy up on the screen for you guys so you see what it looks like. You see the little Cubfu or whatever his name is on the screen.
Yeah, really cute. I love the story. I think it's a cute little fun DLC story. You have this Pokemon who is, a little bit shy and isn't very confident in itself, and you kind of create that bond through the dojo. The dojo battles, the tasks were whatever, but I really like that Pokemon, and creating a bond I think is really cute. I will say though, so many Pokemon on the Isle area, so many.
So many.
It's like you can't step anywhere without an item on the floor or a Pokemon.
Yeah, well, I feel like when you're playing this game, because the original game I have some gripes with, and we were saying it was so directed towards children, such an easy game, and so much just throwing things at you in your favor. When they throw you on this island, everything's at level 60 to start. It gives you a little more challenge, but at the same time, it's because they're throwing you constant bones. It's treats everywhere. It's Watts everywhere. Quid everywhere.
I mean,
all
if
the
you're going to make
Pokemon.
me pay $25 for a DLC, yeah, you
Absolutely.
better put a bunch of stuff on the ground for me. Absolutely, I'll take that.
Yeah, definitely. And I do like a lot of the stuff they added. I like the Pokemon they added. I like the battle towers. It's a shame it's only really you get one tower path to choose. and everything like that. And another thing that I don't like is that there's a lot of water Pokemon everywhere, and I get that it's an island and all that.
Yeah, but you can't get anywhere without getting hit with one. You're trying to bicycle around it, you get attacked by them, they chase you. It's so scary.
Yeah, it's out of control. Like the Sharpedo, worst thing in the entire island.
I haven't gotten one yet.
The Sharpedo just charges you. You see him from a mile away, just barreling through the water. And you're just running on your bike trying to go as fast as you can to get away from this damn thing. And it's so annoying sometimes, especially when you already caught one. Who wants to run from it every time you hit the water? It's
I will
so
say,
goddamn annoying.
an easy thing that I did like is those little Digletts on the floor. Every area has a certain number of Digletts, and you have to keep finding them. And once you find a certain number, I think it's like 10 to start, you bring them to the guy that sets you on that quest, and he gives you a low-end Pokemon. And like things from other regions that aren't the Galarian stuff. So like, if me personally, I love, surfing Raichu. I think that's like one of the cutest designs, and I love the Vulpix and the Sandshrew from the Alolan region. So it's really cool to have those as an option in your game too, and I like that.
Yeah, definitely. And I liked collecting all of them. The reward at the end is kind of silly because he gives you a Diglett. Like, you find 151 of them or whatever, and he's like, here, you can have one of my Digletts. And I'm like, dude, I don't care. I liked all the stuff you gave me before.
Yeah.
You were giving me better Pokemon before.
The only reason it'll be exciting is to get the trio version of it with the hair.
Oh, the hair is fantastic.
Yeah.
What do you think of the...
Yeah, I love that. But yeah, I think it's really cute. It makes me want to play Pokemon again. Obviously his Pokedex is like way more stuff than me, also because you have the Pokebank stuff, which you're upset about, right?
Yeah, I am upset about the Pokebank stuff. It took so long to finally get it. You got so many restrictions on what you can transfer through Pokebank, and then there is a glitch that if you're transferring stuff from your Pokebank into the new game that you're allowed to, that's in the roster of the new Pokedex for the Isle of Armor, it doesn't sync up. It doesn't say you caught those Pokemon. So you still have to recatch them on the Isle of Armor. And that kind of threw me off because I was like, wait a second, I have a Pinsir. I have a Fomantis. I have this. I have that. And I'm like...
It's because you cheated.
But it's because I transferred it from my other games and all the work I...
cheated.
It's not cheating.
You transfer from your other games, you're cheating.
That's not true.
And he's like, I worked so hard for this.
Yeah, well, when you dedicate yourself to a certain game for so long and you realize that generation after generation you can keep transferring it, and then they have the global trade center, it's so cool, and then they do the biggest thing, your dream, a third-person open sandbox adventure for Pokemon.
I mean, it's a great style of the game, yeah.
Then they give you so many restrictions, and that bums you out. But at the same time, it's because they're teasing you. They know they got to lead you on and keep this game going for as long as humanly possible.
Yeah.
The DLC, little bit of time. Little.
Anything else you want to say about Pokemon? Because I want to talk about a game add-on as we're at it.
Oh, no. You can move on to whatever. I would say, overall, my review for Isle of Armor expansion is a 7.
Yeah, I think it's worth
It's solid.
getting.
It's fun. If you're into your breeding and your trading and your everything,
if you're not even like that active on Pokemon and you want something different, I absolutely say get it. I think it, adds something to your gameplay. The storyline is very cute. It's a great way to get a bunch of new items. The Alolan Pokemon, I think that's worth it in itself. I think there's obviously new Pokemon on the island or whatever that you don't get, so I like that. I think it's worth what's like $25. It's short, but it's a DLC, so what do you expect,
Yeah, we finished it really fast. Well, at least I did.
You did, yeah, because you're a monster.
What do you want to talk about outside of that? What's the other thing?
Animal Crossing.
Oh, okay, do your thing.
Animal Crossing does like add-ons every couple months. So this month was like the wedding season, and it was like you can get specific items for it, which were good to just decorate your house with too.
Yeah.
But next month they're implementing they're putting in diving, so you can run and like jump into the water and dive for objects. So it's like stuff to add to like starfish and things to add to your museum and expand it in that way. And there's some other stuff. There's like a creature that you can sell your stuff to and it gives you more money for it, but it's a little thing. I just like that they do every month. They'll be like, here's a new addition to the game, instead of, I personally haven't been playing it the past few weeks on top of moving. I just feel like my interest has died down on it a little bit.
Yeah, and especially now you've been playing a little bit with The Sims too.
Yeah, so it's like, it's died down a little bit. I mean, I still love the game. I'm going to go back. I miss all my villagers and stuff. Like, I was working on building a second island. But I think when they add those bits to the game for free, it gives people more of an incentive to go grab their Switch and try it out again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Instead of giving me all that at once and then I got burnt down the first 3 months of quarantine.
Yeah, just like Pokemon.
So it's really cute. I think it's a more unique way to play the game. I mean, in summer you get different items anyways. So I got a lot of people on my Discord playing it, and they were trading items all day today, and it's really cute, and I really appreciate it. So if you're interested in Animal Crossing at all, one of the best things, like I said, is they do all these free updates, and you get tons of cool shit. So worth checking out.
All right, and then we'll get into our next thing. Now, the next one, we're going to go into a TV show. This one's kind of a fun one. We're into our zombie stuff, and we've been watching a show on Netflix called Reality Z. Now, I don't know if anybody got to see this. Now, you said it reminds you of another show, or it's like a remake of another show. Can you explain that?
Dead Set is like a UK-based show, if I'm not mistaken. It might be something else, honestly. I watched it so long ago.
Or Australia or Netherlands.
Yeah, I think it's Australia or something like that. So I apologize for not really knowing my geography. Is that the word? Geography?
Or discography, or...
No, I meant in the world. Like, I don't remember what part of the world.
Oh, what part of the world? I'm talking about the show, if there's a remake or whatever.
So it's basically Big Brother, like, people from the show Big Brother are actors in this show, right? And it's set up where they're filming a set of Big Brother, and on the outside world, there's like a zombie apocalypse happening. And all of the people that are in Big Brother don't even know what's going on outside because they're playing game, which honestly is really serious, like, to what happened with Big Brother right now. Like, when coronavirus hit in Canada, and I think it was in Germany, they had no idea what was going on in the outside world.
Yeah.
Like, which is really interesting to think about. And then they had to go over, you can watch video clips on it online, which is pretty interesting. Imagine, like, you're filming for a show, you have no idea if your friends and family are safe, if they've gotten sick from this, like, you have no idea what the virus even is.
Yeah, true.
So, unrelated, as I'm just saying, make sure you look up those videos because they're very interesting. But with this, it's the same kind of scenario. There's a virus outbreak. It's obviously the zombies. The people who are working on the actual set are being attacked by zombies, but they know that where Big Brother's being filmed, or whatever show they call it on that, is the safe haven and is the safest place, so they're going to there to be protected. Which is the same premise of Dead Set. You have a main character, you know, she seems like she's tired of being like an intern type of girl.
The Zooey Deschanel bootleg.
Yeah, and she's just trying to be like kind of rebellious, so she's having like a three-way like poly relationship with like 2 of her coworkers, and the guy's like a dick, and it's just like this like interesting weird storyline. And then it goes into you know, the people there at the set that work there, and then it also shows an older woman and her son, and you find out later that the older woman used to work at the place,
and it's like a safe haven.
Well,
it's got high security and self-sustaining.
Yeah, so the reality show that they're filming is like a goddess kind of show. What do you remember what it's called?
I believe it's called
Olympus.
It's Olympus, and it's basically all Greek mythology, and they're
all dressed up in outfits.
They're dressed ridiculous in these costumes, and it's all like basically just a ridiculous reality show like Big Brother.
Yeah.
But they're all like in that Greek theme, and then they get eliminated, and it's like almost like they get sacrificed or exiled or whatever you would call that in those times.
Yeah.
You know, so it's really neat. It's like a fun play on that. And what I really like about this show that's fun is like they just kill all the characters a lot.
Yeah.
They just kill the main characters, give you another set, kill them. And I'm not talking like every season. I'm talking like few episodes in, and everybody's dead. And they've moved on to another set of characters.
It's like 6 or 8 episodes, right? It's not very long.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was short, but, like, we've just been on a kick on, like, goofy shows. Like, it's not the greatest show ever, but it's entertaining. The storyline is different. You know, you get the one asshole character, which there's a part in the show where this guy just shits into a garbage can.
Oh, my God,
it's, like, the grossest fucking thing.
Bootleg Tim Curry.
Yeah, he's bootleg Tim Curry, and it's just, like, I don't know. It's an entertaining watch. You know, obviously, during COVID, we don't have a lot of new things that are coming out. But I would say give it a shot and maybe check out Dead Set. I think it's on Netflix too. If you want to compare the two, you can.
Is it?
Yeah, it was. That's where I originally watched it. It was on Netflix.
Ooh, so that's a twofer right there.
Yeah. So
what would you give
compare.
Reality Z though?
Like a 7. Like, it's not the greatest show ever, but I was very entertained all the way through. I love the other group that we see. Because it's like 3 sets of groups, right? So you have the Greek group from Olympus. Then you have the Dead Set people that work there. Then you have the people, the mom who used to work there, who they bring a councilman and 2 police officers that are like super coked up, and the councilman's like, I don't know, assistant with them to this place to be saved. And in the car is a woman. She was arrested because she was taking video of the cops doing cocaine. So it's like, it's just like a joke, but that group is really interesting to me too. And it's kind of shocking. Like we said, they killed off a lot of characters we didn't expect to die. And I like that. I like that they're willing to take that risk and that storyline, and technically nobody's safe during an apocalypse, even if you think they're going to be. So yeah, like a 7. What would you say?
I would say probably about a 7, maybe a 7.5. If you like to watch stuff just strictly on the comedy aspect, because with them killing and switching all these people out, it's because they're doing it in the reality show aspect. So everybody's literally an idiot. Yeah. And everybody dies in the dumbest ways. They're all exaggerated versions of extreme personalities. It's great in that sense. You laugh at them, how stupid it is. And there's so many moments where you're just like, you gotta be kidding me.
Well, there's also a part in the show, too, because they have, like, a main control room for the set. The councilman puts out a PSA, like, if you're in the area, we have shelter, we have food, we will protect you. And all these people start showing up, and they're not expecting all these people to show up. So the first, like, group that comes by, they're like, we have to test them. We're going to put them in a room and see which member they're going to kill. And, like, they're making it feel very reality TV style because they have them in this room, they have all the cameras, they're watching it, and it just feels like it's like a circle, like a never-ending circle of this stuff. And I think that's pretty interesting for it too.
Yeah, definitely. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I thought that was a lot of fun just to watch. It was a good just breeze right through it. No need to worry about the story. Had a good time with that one. Now let's move on from Reality Z. And do you want to go?
So loud.
You can turn that off if you want real quick.
Yeah, I'm scared it's gonna be too loud.
Yeah, it might be a little loud. We got the AC going and stuff.
I know you want to talk about something else, but can we talk about a couple things that are coming out real fast? Because I don't want to forget to say this.
Go ahead.
Like, we have Dark Season 3, which is the final season coming out this week.
It's gonna be so
I'm
good.
so excited. You guys know we love it. If you haven't watched it yet, please do, and then go on Reddit and look up a graph that gives you the information to each character.
Oh, it's so deep.
It's
so
very
good.
deep, but it's such a good storyline. It's probably my favorite show that Netflix has done. The Rain Season 2 comes out, I think, August.
Does it?
It's either August or July, which, if you guys don't know, we've reviewed that a few times. It's basically about a toxic rain and some kids being put into a bunker. Very good.
Yeah.
Umbrella Academy next month.
Umbrella Academy's coming, yeah.
Next month we have Umbrella Academy, also a Netflix fantastic show if you haven't watched it. Doom Patrol's out, right?
Yeah, Doom Patrol starts today.
Yeah,
the 25th is today, and Doom Patrol is out. If you have HBO Max or DC Universe, it is out. This is the thing to watch. We love Doom Patrol. I love it so much.
I love Brandon Fraser especially, so for me, I'm very excited. We found some like old mummy VHS tapes at the shop where I'm like, we have to keep these. Also, The Boys is coming out soon, I think. I don't know if there's a date yet, but they've been talking about
they
that.
had a trailer for that too, so that's another thing that's coming.
Was there anything else show-wise before we get into current things we're watching still?
As far as another TV show, yes, we do. We have one more thing to mention, and it also is with DC Universe as well, and that's StarGirl. We finally got to see in the newest episode the actual new Justice Society put together, and I'm going to put these guys up on screen for you right here. Look at them. They look really cool. Fun little get-ups. And I'm going to tell you, this show is constantly surprising.
Yeah.
It's very good.
It's
fun, and man.
I think she had her aha moment this episode.
What do you mean?
So, you've been like, she's such a bratty kid. All she does is complain. All she does is that she never listens. Which is valid because she's a teenager going through this thing. But in the most recent episode, Pat finds out that she gives out the Justice Society's outfits to other teenagers, and he's like, you're putting their lives at risk. You have to take it back from them. And instead, the girls and the one guy gets upset, and they don't want to give this stuff to her, and they're like, we're gonna go, solve this mystery on our own, essentially, and go confront this guy. And she's like, all right, instead of doing that, I'll come with you and we'll do this together. And the plan doesn't go exactly the way they want it to, but I think it makes her kind of realize what Pat's going through. You know what I mean? Like, I think it takes something like that, because at the end they're having a conversation. She's like, yeah, they just won't listen. He's like, yeah, has it ever felt like, X, Y, and Z? She's like, yeah, exactly. He's like, that's how I fucking feel. Yeah. Like, that's how you're treating me. And I think it just took maybe that. I don't know how she's going to be next week, but I think that was kind of like an eye-opener for her, that he just wants to keep them safe. And at the end of the episode, he's kind of like, all right, we're going to do this together.
Yeah, and I did like that they did what I wanted. They let them fail.
Yeah.
And Pat had to come in and swoop them up. You see them start to irrationally go after the Injustice Society and try to do it, but not really as a fully fledged confirmed group, and not really with a plan. And you see it all unfold, and it's really cool to really see them get their asses whooped.
Yeah.
And I mean, watching, you get to see some villains in action. You get to see Sportsmaster.
Very cool.
And I forget what the other girl's name is.
They're
but
shot
they're the married
out.
couple, and
They're
they are
crazy.
so shot out.
They're like coked out.
But they're so much
so
fun,
crazy.
and like everybody's like really goofy, and it's comical, and at the same time the production value is just really good.
One thing I would like.
What?
I would have loved to see more of the magician guy.
Yeah, that's a real bummer.
I'm so mad they killed him. What if he's just alive? I don't know. But I would have liked to see more of him.
And not only did they kill the magician guy, they killed his kid.
Yeah.
And apparently they killed his wife too.
Yeah.
They went in, and similar death for the wife, I guess, that it was for the new Hour Man's parents. Apparently, his parents were also killed by Solomon Grundy from the Injustice Society, and they show a little clip through Dr. Midnight's goggles.
Yeah. And
they show Solomon Grundy and everything. I can't wait to see Solomon Grundy on screen, because it's comic book Solomon Grundy, not the CW Solomon Grundy, which was god awful.
Well, I also like that you get to see like their round table moment with their paintings and like their little hideout, which is just like the other Justice Society area.
Yeah.
And you also see what's Frozone? What's his name? The Freezy guy.
Freezy guy.
Yeah. What's his name? He's all icy.
What's his name? I don't know now. You got Frost or something?
I don't know.
Killer Frost?
The dad with the frosty mouth.
Yeah, you have me all messed up because you gave it 8 nicknames and they all sound good.
Whatever. He is sharing some food with his kid at the diner to like have.
It's his son.
That's what I said. His kid at the
Oh,
diner.
I thought you said this kid.
No, his kid at the diner. They're celebrating the mom's birthday because she had passed away. But you see at one point he gets the frosty mouth too.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see if their kids are developing powers like they had.
Yeah, I think we're going to see all of the kids that are in the main circles in school are going to either be children of heroes or villains, or they're going to become heroes or villains or whatever. Yeah. And it's all going to be pretty fun to see, like, whoever's going to, if the son's going to take place of Brainwave, or if Brainwave's going to come back.
Well, kids are shit.
Yeah, to see if the kid's going to be like Frosty, like his dad.
I don't think so, because I think he's the love interest for StarGirl. They've had, like, sort of chemistry. I feel like they're going to make it be that's her love interest. So
They could.
I mean, he could just be thinking he's a hero, and he's not, and he's doing villain things. We really don't know where that's going to progress. I want more Pat, though. I just want more Pat. I want more of his son. It's like all I'm interested in. I mean, I love StarGirl. I think it's great, but I want to see more of them.
Pat is the MVP of the show. I said it in the beginning, and every episode he seems to be the guy that comes in clutch. Not only like with the writing of his character, but the actor in general. I mean, we're dealing with young actors, and obviously these are good young actors, definitely.
Yeah.
But I mean, Luke Wilson's really fantastic in this.
Yeah.
And I just really love his character. He's like my favorite one in this whole show right now. I do like, obviously, like the Jarvis type thing inside of the Dr. Midnight goggles.
Very cool.
I want to see if they're going to show a Green Lantern, you know? Because the Green Lantern, if it glows, that means it's found its bearer for the ring. and stuff like that. So I want to see what they're going to do with all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Really, really, really cool. That was like a solid 8 or so for that episode. It was really good. I can't wait to see where they go from there. And Doom Patrol's out, so DC Universe is killing it. If you got HBO Max, you got DC Universe, check them out. Those are really, really fantastic shows. Now, we can get into the only bummer of the show, basically, if you want. The bummer of the show today is going to be The Last of Us 2. I'm going to put this on screen real quick for you. The Last of Us Part 2. Take a good look at Ellie right here. I don't know if anybody watched any of the trailers for The Last of Us Part 2, but this is a long anticipated game. I think it's like 7 years in the making. And the trailers were fantastic. This looked so good. We were so excited for the duo.
The first game's
to come
fantastic.
back.
The DLC's fantastic. I don't want to talk too much about spoilers in case you want to play it. However, there are tons of spoilers out there if you haven't seen it already.
Yeah.
The game is beautiful.
Beautiful game.
It looks so good. And, I don't want to spoil too much, but there is something that's kind of traumatic that happens in the story right away, and it made us kind of not want to play it. And with that being said, I think maybe we will have to get into spoiler territory. I still recommend checking it out. Maybe not right now. Maybe wait till it goes on sale. I can't say because we haven't finished the game. But if you're a person who doesn't care about spoilers, look it up. Look up the more recent stuff, though, because there was stuff that was posted months ago when the leaks happened, and they're not totally accurate. You can find clips of people playing it online or videos and stuff. But I think right now we can get into spoiler zone. If you don't want to be spoiled for The Last of Us, fast forward.
One thing I'm going to say straight up is if you looked forward to the game, especially based off of the trailers you watched and what they showed to you and what they kind of gave you as the perception for this game, don't buy this game. I mean, no offense, but this was really shocking and disappointing. I mean, it was the biggest false advertising for a game because we didn't do the spoilers.
I just want to say we're also only 2 hours into the game. We haven't seen much of it. So some of the stuff they've shown, it could be flashbacks, it could be other stuff, it could be things in general we haven't seen. It doesn't seem like that way in the trailer. It seems like it's going to be this journey between Ellie and Joel. They have some kind of distancing because something's obviously drifted between the two of them, and then you get introduced to other characters and storylines. It kind of looks like she's going to save Joel.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to get into a little bit of spoilery stuff. Do you want to get into it now?
Yeah, I did that already.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you something right now. You're not playing as Joel. Ever.
No, you play as him in the beginning when you're riding the horse.
Oh, yeah, that's it. You throw it all out. And there's a character that they didn't even put in the trailers that is the second character you play as. And this character just is all about revenge because during the crisis, I guess, this character's parents were one of the doctors that was... murdered by Joel in the end of the first one. Spoiler if you haven't played the first one, but everybody has, it feels like. And let me tell you, to go and just brutally, just 2 hours in after a really slow and really dramatic, kind of pushy, multiple love triangle intro that was really just, it was just slow, and we were hoping for more in the intro than what it was.
I like to see Ellie having a normal life and doing normal things because of everything she's been through, and I like that, but I also wish that we had more of zombies right away, the story right away, Joel right away, and we didn't get that right away.
No, and as soon as the game started to open up, even in the slightest bit, it was to literally destroy the entire story, to throw away the canon, to say, here's Joel, you need to interpret him as a piece of trash because that's what the story's going to show you him as almost the whole time. It's very revengey the whole time, but without any real resolution, without, to go in the beginning as Joel and Tommy and you save this character named Abby, Big Mama Pump, I'm going to throw that out there right now for you all. That's what I call her. She is buff. Shredded.
What the fuck kind of name is that?
Big Mama Pump, like Scott Steiner, Big Papa Pump, and he used to flex his biceps and he'd kiss him.
I mean, yeah, she's pretty strong.
Super buff. Well, let me tell you, right away, Tommy and Joel go out of their way to save this girl, a stranger, while they're on their routine, and risk their lives multiple times for this girl.
They do it multiple times, yes.
And then this girl just slaughters him. slaughters in the most brutal, awful way possible.
Let's bring it back a little bit, okay? We know that Joel and Ellie aren't heroes. They aren't heroes. They aren't, we saw their story from their eyes. Ellie's supposed to be this cure, and Joel, he selfishly went and saved her when she's supposed to be the cure, and her body was going to be used for science, essentially. She would die. And you can't blame him, because at the end of the day, the relationship they have is very much father-daughter.
Yeah, and at the end of the day,
and
everybody has the conflict that they don't want to do. You would never want to. And a lot of movies are about this. Nobody wants to sell their kid out to die.
I'm not done here.
I understand.
I got things to say.
Okay, go into it. You do it.
He goes in there to rescue her. He's going to go in there and kill people if he has to, but I don't think he went in there and was like, I'm just going to murder everybody and take my kid out. No. They
didn't give him the option.
Yeah. And so it was just like, I understand, because we don't know what happened with Abby at this point in the story. You just play as her twice before she murders him. So there's no character progression. You know that she's with a group of people. She's obviously looking for somebody. You go in the snow 2 or 3 times before you meet with Joel, and she's getting attacked by a horde, and he saves her, like you said. At least 3 different times. He gets her out of that situation. He gets her on the horse. He brings her to the area. And a couple issues I have with that, besides him saving a stranger like that. I'm sure he did it because he said this is a girl, a young girl.
It's not his style, the way he interacts with that group.
Yeah, it's interesting because, yes, I understand there's a big horde you have to go, and there's a snowstorm. It wasn't that heavy at that point. It was heavy, but not as heavy where they couldn't go back home. You're going to an old mansion where it's abandoned with a group of people. You don't know how many people are there. You're just going to go with this girl?
Yeah, that's...
You know the area well. There's nowhere else you can go. Then, as soon as you get in there, you guys are like, oh, yeah, let's all go into the basement together because you saved us. You tell her your name. Which I don't even know how she really knows your name other than the Fireflies were connected. I don't remember the game I played so long ago. I don't know if they said Joel and Ellie are coming here today, guys. I don't know. But
no, these people were not people that were in their group. These are people they met up with during a crisis while they were doing their normal routine. And all of a sudden, so out of character, Joel and Tommy give up their names. They're in the middle of the group, basically in a circling firing squad. I mean, they do such out of character things. And then they get brutally murdered after saving this person multiple times. And let me tell you, if in the apocalypse my parents got killed by people who were trying to save their children, and then that person then returned, I met that person indirectly after they saved me from dying multiple times, I would have to call it a wash, man. It's a really crazy moral dilemma. And for that to go that far in that direction really throws your motivation out the fucking window.
It's like you couldn't have given me Ellie comes, they knock her out, they take Joel, they kidnap him, they have a storyline where Ellie's fighting to get him back and eventually he dies. I would rather have a storyline like that. Where she's kidnapping him and being like, you did this to my parents, now you're gonna die, or we're gonna take over your town. Nothing that's influenced by other than just revenge. And it's, revenge is obviously not as satisfying as people think. Of course, I get that, but it just, I couldn't just be like, oh, you murdered my parents? Bam, you're dead. I'll beat you.
Yeah.
And then you have a guy spitting on him and calling him pendejo, and it's just I don't know.
It was just so bad, and then to say after that you're probably gonna split the game between Ellie and Abby half and half.
Then you want me to play as the girl who murdered our beloved character?
It's not gonna happen. As far as I'm concerned, that's the shortest game I ever played in a while.
Well, Ellie and him, they had a conflict that they didn't get fixed, and it's sad. It makes you think for sure, but it's just we grew to love him so much, and it's hard for me to be I'm totally okay with him getting murdered. We have characters we lose in movies and games and stuff all the time that we're upset about, but I feel like this is really different. I feel like I get what Naughty Dog's trying to do. I guess they're trying to make you see it through Abby's eyes, but I would have rather played another hour or 2 before we get to the point where Joel is murdered. I would rather actually get to know Abby instead of barely playing as her and then immediately murdering someone. That makes me not want to know her.
Yeah, and after that, I went and looked up some more spoilers and checked out what the turning points are in the game and the end points of the game, and it's not okay. The resolution, the story, the arc of the story, the climax, everything. It's just no. It's just not. I'm not in it. That's not for me, and that's not any bit of a story. That's not a real good story for a game. That's a complete story failure. The game is beautiful. The mechanics are the same as you remember. They play nice and clean. But I'm gonna tell you, that is garbage. That is complete garbage.
I don't know. I just feel like, what they went through in that first game. Like, you created such a bond between characters with a beautiful game with a really dark and hard storyline, especially in that winter between, Joel getting sick, her getting attacked, like playing as Ellie, having all these things with this character to just murder him like that. I don't know. I don't want to be like so upset because it's a fictional character and it's a game, but I'm just like, I don't know. I have feelings.
Yeah, I mean, it's just when you play games, even as anti-heroes, even as a kind of villain, even as a hero, no matter what, the hard times, the good decisions, the bad decisions, there's always a driving, strong bond between somebody that makes you want to keep playing, or a strong passion behind the main overarching goal of the story, and this is not in this game at all.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to play more of the game before I fully am like, fuck this game, or I love this game, but I can definitely say I'm a bit disappointed at this point of how it is, so.
Yeah, I'm a little turned off at this point, and I don't know how motivated I'll be to play. I've been trying to look up just how much of the game is split between Abby and Ellie to really give me an idea of how frustrated I'll be because
we could play
how
it,
frustrated I got.
I'll just play as her.
Yeah, that's probably what we'll end up doing. I mean, let us know what you think about the game. I thought that was the weirdest false advertising ever. I didn't expect that. I really didn't, and I thought that the stuff online that I heard that I was trying to avoid were kind of like a little trollery. But that was pretty shocking to me. I'm not on it at all. Not at all. So overall, that pretty much covers everything. I mean, I'm sorry to end it on a kind of shit note in a sense, but it was the most shocking thing for us. Everything we've been watching has been fairly good or okay or whatever we expect out of it for the most part. But this was like the one thing that kind of threw us for a loop, I think, overall.
But with that being said, we named a lot of shows that are coming out that we're going to catch up with. I would love to hear what you guys are looking forward to and what you're going to be watching. We are on Instagram as Pod for the recently released. As I said, also our web stores will be closed for the next week or two since we will be moving. As I said, there won't be another episode for a bit, but we're going to try and get some live streams on, even if it's just like a little Q&A session. Yeah. Maybe we could do them on Instagram, YouTube, on my Twitch, whatever you guys think would be best. Let us know, because we'd like to, just pop in and say hi, even if it's not a full episode at this time.
Yeah, absolutely. And big things are coming. We're going to have a huge expansion of the studio. A lot more stuff is going to be going on. We're going to be really expanding the platform a lot more, so keep a lookout. We're going to try to document some of it too if we can, and maybe involve it in the podcast itself. As far as the video form, it's going to be really hard to translate some of what we're doing as far as on the audio aspect of the platform. Maybe we'll do a special episode that's strictly on YouTube. And just have a little fun with it, because we got a lot of big things on the horizon. We're doing a lot of expanding. And we're really excited for everybody to see what we have in store over the coming weeks and months and stuff like that. But that about covers today's episode. Thanks so much for watching. Once again, check us out. Hit that like button, share and subscribe. Tell everybody about it. Joe Matisa, out.
Peace.
Thanks for listening to yet another episode of Podcast for the Recently Released. If you want to peep some of our older episodes, we've got a ton of them. Just check us out on podcastfortherecentlyreleased.com. We've got merch, older episodes, links for other ways to listen to us, and more. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. Don't let your meatloaf. Stay safe out there, guys.